Hi, this is Jolly, your host for Podcast for Care. This is the 50th podcast of this year and the last for season 1. So, thank you guys. It has been a great experience in talking to you all. Your feedback and support that I've got is absolutely amazing. And I find it encouraging that I have reached 50 episodes of this podcast. And today I'm going to talk about mental health of grown ups. Now, why I'm going to talk about this is because the COVID pandemic has affected most of us financially and in a manner that has made us look inward and look what we are really worth. So, when we talk about the mental health, let's understand what goes wrong or what happens. We generally tend to believe that a person who's mentally not sound or what we see a lot of footprints around the family, meaning that we see decreased enjoyment of life or unhappiness building around family conflicts, difficulties in relationships either with a spouse or kids or the elderly in the house. What we see majorly as social isolation, meaning a person would move out of his friend circle and keep himself locked up in a room, or be aloof from others, not get involved into things, stop eating, or have bouts of extreme mood swings. Mood swings are extreme in the sense that he could easily get angry or very angry, or he could easily be made happy. Now, you see a different person right in front of you. The kids understand it, the wife sees it, and if you have an elderly in the family, then he observes that you are not behaving in a normal manner. I'm sure if anybody has gone through a financial difficulty or has lost his job, uh, he will of course be a lot more moody, a lot more tardy in his behavior. What we also see is lot of drug abuse or substance abuse or alcoholism coming in, um, very stern handling of situations in the family which could otherwise have happened or handled in a better manner. And of course, we see a lot of aimless ideas and aimless things happening around in the family. Now, these are very telltale signs, people with low energy levels or significant reduced energy of achieving things, doing things, people giving up easily that look, I can't do it. Major changes in eating habits. The hunger is gone, the mood goes bad. Some of the other things that one is detachment from reality, paranoia or hallucinations, withdrawal, significant withdrawal from so many things that are essential in the house. Now, these are all the things which keep on affecting a person. So, it could be either us or our brothers, sisters, siblings, something or the other, and we must take care of him. So, how do you handle it? Personally, I have gone through all of them myself, and how I have handled it. One is, the first thing I did was cool down. That means take my time off and sit somewhere and understand what's really going wrong with me, what's happening with me. That's how I dealt with my alcoholism problem and my smoking problem. In about 4 years' time, I have completely stopped smoking and I take alcohol maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks, not more than that. Can you believe it? Without any counseling, without anything what doing any activity, either taking medical help or going to a counselor or group meetings to reduce alcoholism. No, it is by my own sheer will. And how did I come to this will that I need to do this? What I did was think about what is I am going to do next in life. Am I supposed to be a doomed entity, a lost guy, and die on the streets of Delhi? Or am I going to fight back? And if I am going to fight back, alcoholism or any other illnesses will not help me to fight back. They will be more of a disability. Hmm? So, the first thing I did was to stop drinking. Yeah, I stopped drinking for almost a year. I don't know how long I stopped, but I stopped drinking. I decided that I will not drink because I was getting old and I thought my systems will not be able to take the stress of the mind along with the stress of alcohol. And someday or the other, my internal organs will start collapsing. How did I think this? I took an assessment of myself, how I want to live, what I want to do, for what is the purpose of my life. So instead of redefining that, look, I am going to go away and run away from the situation, what I did, I thought that I need to live for my kids and I need to take care of them as they grow older. And so the first thing was to save cost and save health. If you save health, if you don't have to go to doctors, you save a whole lot of money here in Delhi or anywhere else in the world. Doctors are expensive, medicines are very expensive. I got myself registered in a hospital where medicines are free and doctor consultancy is free. Similarly, I gave up drinking, which saved me a lot of money, a whole lot of money, and smoking. Smoking is actually more costlier than a drink. So, one is I saved on money and I saved on my health in a big manner. The second thing I did, focus on yourself in terms of your activities. So I got involved into work which enabled me to work for at least 10-12 hours a day, physical labor. So the choice that you have, either you do exercises in the morning or you do hard work. It comes to the same thing. So when my washing machine gave way, I did not repair it. Of course, I didn't have money to repair it. But at the same time, washing clothes gave me a good body exercise. Similarly, wiping floors or cleaning home gives a lot of physical activity which I had to do. And that enabled me and my body to be in top prime health. As you see today, I'm 60 years old, strong and happy. No illnesses, absolutely. And that is what you need to do when you are stuck in a hole. You cannot throw away your life. This is your one and only life. You need to live for somebody. Now you decide whom you want to live for and take care of yourself in a manner that you are able to perform your chosen path. It's either taking care of somebody or taking care of yourself or doing things which is more important to establish yourself. So the second thing what I did was get into cooking. Now, no, I don't love cooking, but I love talking to the utensils in the kitchen because the amount of pressure that I had nobody to talk to. There were no friends around, there were no people around, and there weren't anybody really concerned about me, which is true for anybody in life. So you need to find a place, something on which you can communicate with, either a plant or a car or a hobby or somebody or something. So either the second option is either you enlarge your friend circle, that means you build up a social network of friends in the neighborhood with whom you can talk and share. But most of the time these people would mislead you or they would misread you, meaning they will not understand the pain that you have gone through or you are going through. So start doing something which takes care of this negativity of life. You know what I did? I started cooking and I would talk to my utensils to motivate myself and take out all the negative aspects of my life. Yeah, many times my food got all burnt up those days when I was really disturbed, but most of the time the food turned out to be really flavorful. I could really express myself. So find something, maybe an art, maybe craft, maybe jogging, maybe cycling, maybe driving, whatever is. You see, life is what I think life is like a blank sheet. You can paint it the way you want it. It's completely up to us how we want to shape our life. As adults, we have long forgotten how to use the color pencils. So come back to life, guys, and use those color pencils all over again. Paint your life bright, make it happy. And that's what made me survive happily. So I talked to my utensils never gave me any reply back, and the food were coming out good, so I knew that my concentration was falling in place. The third thing is to find a set of positive people, people who don't talk negative. So what I did, I was generally a lonely person, and the friends that I had all moved out of the way because my plans were different and their plans of life were different. And those guys who wanted to mix around with me generally moved away. So I developed a new set of friends with whom I could talk to, a set of positive friends, not a set of friends who would put me more into deeper distress or deeper anxiety. One was, of course, the social media. I participated in all of them. I wrote comments, I exchanged notes with whoever I followed, and the feedback started improving. I I managed to overcome the pains of life, and I managed to smile all over again. So a social media was really helpful to me. So you guys, if you have nobody, go to the social media, but mix with the right set of people over there. Don't go into categories which are sexual oriented or different in life. Go to and be friends with people who are happy, who are positive, and who are spreading happiness. Listen to guys who talk sensibly, who talk nicely. Listen to comedies and adventures. The earth has a lot to show to us. Visit those sites which show how beautiful our earth is, and maybe you can go there one day. So look at the social society and start being happy. The fourth thing that I did was sit with myself, meaning I used to plan out and write out things, what I have achieved and what I want to do. Have I achieved enough for today? That means every day for half an hour I would sit with myself all alone, listening to some music and penning down my thoughts. What was my plans for the day? What I've achieved for the day? What remains pending? And why it remains pending? You know? So I could talk to myself and tell myself, look, Jolly, you have not done enough today. You, as a grown up, you have a responsibility towards your kids, your family, and you cannot let them down. And next day morning, I would be up bright and sharp all over again, thinking and writing and with full of zest how to go ahead with it. So I took out those time where I could speak to myself, my conscience, the choices that I am making, and what are the right choices. The fifth that I did was start writing. That means in between the pandemic came for about 10 months, my businesses got closed and I had no source of income. Now that brought in a lot of stress because I had two young boys living with me, my two sons, and I didn't know where the money will come from. I had a good few good guys who were willing to help me out, but was it the right thing? Of course, they helped me out, and I took their help financially with the promise that whenever business reopens, I will service their needs. That means provide them food. I was into food business, and that brought down my stress level quite a bit. The second thing that I did was get into writing. A very casual friend, told me that if I could speak English so well, why not start writing? So, my suggestion to you guys is look at yourself, your inwards, and what is it that are your core basic strengths. So, what I want you to do is understand your core basic strength. My strength was good English. My God, can you imagine that I had not thought about it 10 years back and I was trying to pursue a dream which was so painful? 10 years back, if I would have pursued my English, I would have read or written close to 100 books by now, and I would have been a literary figure by now. And I wasted all that time and energy on chasing everything under the earth. And believe me, you know what? Thanks to that friend of mine who pushed me into writing, she didn't push, she just guided me. I jumped into it. I jumped into it because I had seen I was a very big member of Quora.com, and I used to write extensively there, and I had a lot of fan followers over there. So I knew, yes, it works for me, and thereon I started writing. Now that opened a new gate for me, and I started teaching content writing. And today I have students who vouch for those skills that I train them in, and whose marks in their schools and colleges have increased to the maximum possible. They are scoring close to 97, 98 out of 100. Now that's a beautiful thing to do. So what did I do? I focused on my core strengths. So guys, I would like you to focus on your core strengths. The fifth and final is show compassion. Like you, if you are under stress, if by being more angry or by drinking some more or being very harsh in your interaction with your near and dear ones, you are making them more vulnerable and you are making them very weak. They are getting stressed out by your stresses. Love them, show compassion to them, have empathy with them, understand them, be with them, hold their hands. That will take away a lot of your pain. That will take away a lot of your personal anxiety. Talk to them. I think the best remedy that I have found is talk to them. Talk to people, talk to them. Explain yourself, open up. Talk about your apprehensions, your pains, what fears you have. The more you talk about it, more your relations will understand you. They will also be compassionate towards you and make you feel happy. So, my suggestion is, as adults, if you are going through stressful times, if you are going through depression, open up, talk, socialize, be compassionate with people and others around you. Manage your life in a nice manner. Get into a rhythm of life. Once you're into a rhythm, then everything will fall in place. So, like we used to do, we used to have a routine in school when we are in the first class, second class, third class. All along in the schools, we always had a routine, and this routine we gave up. After college, we simply gave up this routine. Why? We thought we are grown up now and we can do anything that we want. No, life isn't like that. If the sun didn't rise every day and it started behaving like you know what would happen? There would be complete chaos. So you are the person who are creating chaos in your relationship, in your family. Please stop doing that. Follow a routine. You design out the routine. You don't need to talk to somebody else to design out the routine for you. But design out a routine which meets all these 5 6 aspects that I have spoken about, and start handling people with compassion, and I'm sure things will gradually fall into place. Like it took all these years of pain, of frustration, of ill feeling, of being depressed, or believing, either right or wrong, that you're not having the uh, fair share of opening up or becoming better in life. It is not like that. Everything falls in place. For you also it will fall in place, like the sun rises every day and the sun sets every day. So my friends, take care of yourself. A very happy new year to you. Enjoy the new year with a sense of responsibility. Don't do things out of the way. These are COVID times, so maintain your distance, cover your mouth, and maintain social distancing. If you have to plan something, plan it in the open air, not in closed air, so that infection do not transmit easily. And enjoy your life with your family, friends, and everybody around you. All the best, and God bless you. A very happy new year to you. This is Jolly signing off from season 1 of this podcast for care. Our season 2 will start off from the new year. We are slightly changing our plan. Now it will be every 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th of the month that we will release our podcast. That means 4 podcasts a month, a few bonus ones in between to make it 50. And to ensure that we have captured all the feedback that we get, the bonus ones will explain or answer some of those plans. And once again, God bless you. Enjoy the new year and all the best. This podcast will be edited by Aditya. Thank you so much.